Hello everybody, how are you guys doing today? I'm doing good. I am rushing, just being super busy. Trying to get settled. I'm trying to open up my chat real quick. My Draw, Butterscorch, welcome in. Crucial Blue, how you doing? Yeah, doing good? Good. Hey Zen. Thought you'd forgotten about my stream. What's going on, man? Okay. Just a minute, I'll get everything going here. So we're going to be doing two things today. First thing is we're going to put our final coat of whatever on these Emperor's Children. All 32 minis. So no Russian. No, not Russian. I'm Russian, you know. You're not driving. Okay, good. McMatic, what's going on? Two things? Okay. Alright, well, we'll jump in. So we got bases on these guys. And all I have to do is put some weathering powder on them. I figured that won't take super long. But we'll do a bit of weathering powder, kind of like lower legs and on the bases. And then we're going to start assembling some Leagues of Votann. So that's the plan. Have I ever painted Chaos Spawn? Yes, I have. Yep. And I'm sure if you dig through my Instagram, you'll probably find pictures of them. They were corn themed. So, yep. Try to build a 40k AdMech list for a TTS game on Friday. I have no idea. The one dude that won the World Championships, is it Richard Siegler? His army was about, it was over $1,600 worth of miniatures for one army. Yeah, those Spawn, they're interesting minis. They're I'd say they're not great. There's lots of customization, but they all kind of feel the same. So I don't know. It's just like, yeah, I want eyeballs or I want claws sticking out of the same ports on everybody. So I can't even see the YouTube emotes, Blue. I'm sorry. You're the only one that's able to see them. I just see cat orange whistling, face fuchsia, poop shape, body green covering eyes. Wait, McMatic, your wedding's tomorrow? What? Dang, dude. Congrats. Alright, McMatic. Here we go, dude. Well, I hope you have a wonderful day tomorrow. I like how he led with the Chaos Spawn. He's like, oh yeah, also I'm getting married. What's it do with my nerves? Yeah, probably not paint minis if you're all nervous and everything. Alright, we got this stuff here. Mars Dust Weathering Powder from Huge Miniatures. This is what we're gonna use. And I'm gonna do just a really simple coat here. We're just gonna take this container, and I'm gonna do the line. I have all 32 minis on my setup here. Starlit Misfit, welcome in. I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna go set them to the side. After I do all these things, I'll slowly clear out some room here. Weddings are the best days of my life, followed closely by the days my girl. Yeah, yep. My son being born was a traumatic day. Not because he was born, but everything leading up to it was super traumatic, so... it was a great day, but man, stressful. What's up, Ogre Forge? How you doing? Band of Goblins, what's going on? Order minis and wedding. Yeah, that's true. Back at Christmas box next weekend. Oh, cool. Very cool. Good luck. I hope. I heard there's not much quantity with them this year, but we'll see. All right. Yep. It's So pretty simple, nothing crazy. All right, we got the dust on there, and we got the minis going. We'll just clear out some of the stuff around the sides of the bases. There we go. We'll do just needs varnish. I think my wedding day was kind of a blur. I had a lot of fun, but it's definitely a blur. The Tyranids had 3 card effects in it for Crusher Swarm. Yeah. I've heard the Tyranid box is a good one, though. Estrello T Slayer, welcome in, guys. Happy Thursday, everybody. Okay. Got you. First choice is Votann followed by Tau. Okay, you're not being very picky about it then, huh? Just gonna inhale some red pigment dust here. No big deal. No Eldar box, nothing interesting. I think the Krieg and the Space Marine ones are the coolest. And the best like starter boxes. But the Krieg one's like a really bad value compared to how holiday boxes normally are. And the Space Marine one, like if you've collected any Space Marines the past like 3 years, you have half the stuff in that box, and it kind of reduces how much you want it. So first choice sells out. I can order the yeah. Very nice. Well, that's cool. Drink enough for your wedding. Take all. Yeah, okay, yeah, sure. Band of Goblins. I guess we know how Band of Goblins' wedding went. If I didn't get Leviathan, yeah. That's the unfortunate thing about the Tau box is it has a bunch of minis from the Leviathan box, which is pretty lame, to be honest. Hey, JJ, HF Hero Fantasy, welcome in. Earl Grievous sends his regards. How you doing? Oh, you're an immoral he. Okay. Maybe that future someone just knows. They know what you're gonna do, and they're like, I can't. They're like, I can't put my family through that. I don't know. What's going on, JJ? How you doing? Bases look nice. Thank you, Night Trap. Overall, fairly simple scheme. I dry brushed the bases with Nova Orange after they were completely dry. That was yesterday evening, and then I painted around the base rims last night. And then today we're just putting some weathering powder on. That's all. How do you feel about this deal? 40 Skitarii, an Aerothopter, 5 Ruststalkers, Dominus Techno-Archaeologist for 150. Now I'm not an expert on 40k AdMech stuff, but that does seem fairly cheap. That seems like a lot. Like 40 Skitarii, their box set's at 10, right? For probably like $50. So, you know, as far as like dollar per dollar value, it's probably a really good deal. Someone's selling that much. How complex would you say 30k is? It's definitely more complex than 40k. I don't think it's not like unlearnable, and I don't think it's like BattleTech levels of complex. What I've seen with BattleTech is pretty wild. Like you're tracking individual mechs and and all this stuff, and you're not doing that much here. But it's a reasonably complex game. Welcome back. You're picking that up tomorrow? Nice. Alright. Dang, good deal. Falling off his base here, so let's just set you down. We'll put the Noise Marines off to the side for now. Purchase to paint ratio, yeah. Sure, it's a quote, Band of Goblins, sure. I totally believe you there. Some Legion clones built for painting. Oh, cool. Are those the new ones? The new, like, Phase 1, Phase 2 plastics or whatever? Just order a bases yesterday. Nice. Keep it up, dude. I hope that's working out. Some of the old, some of the new. Okay, nice. It makes sense they consolidated all those into one box. That was... You know, I understand, like, they did the Phase 1s and they were the resin, and then they came with the Phase 2 later and all that, but yeah, I don't think there's any reason for the Phase 1s and 2s to have different rules anyway. It's a style choice at that point. Got a Patreon settlement from Illinois today. $44? Okay. What happened with Patreon? Not paying people? What's going on? Moojuice, welcome in. There he was. Playing relative. If you might keyed it up real quickly, shut down before it did anything. Oh, that's funny. Yeah. That game seems so complicated. If you like that, that's cool. But I'm not super into the setting to begin with. I'm not like crazy about like mech stuff either, so... Oh, dang. Okay, Estrello. That's pretty crazy. That's crazy. Pone, what's going on? How you doing, man? The Poninator. You seal the pigment on? Yes, I will. I will. I'll just do that with some varnish, though. I'm not like... I'm not going to be crazy with the actual, like, varnished fixer or anything. I don't think bases need all that because of the cracks and crevices and all. So... Slurry of distilled water and the pigment powder. Yeah, there you go. There you go. An ABS-like resin from Sunloom. So you're getting your hobby going, right? Next part mainly seems to be mech building. They're pre-built. Okay, yeah. Seems like the game takes forever to play because people are looking up their rules all the time. And, you know, Warhammer gets like that too, but... Sand and gravel fixer for basing? I've never used pigments, yeah. I have the fixer from Huge Miniatures, and it's really nice. You kind of make a... Yeah, you dilute and make like a little slurry out of it, which you can also like drop it on over the fixer. It'll hold it all in place, but... So it's also... the fixer's a little pricey, it seems like, compared to what you end up getting out of the box, or out of the bottle. Okay, let's keep going. Scoot you back. Kilograms of some dang. All right. I mean, you got business expenses though. So let's keep going there. Morning, Dundersnuff. How you doing? I like the Soriatech that I use. The faster Tenacious. I do a little blend of both of those. This guy out here. Training this morning, I got stuff to do. Well, too bad. Get to be bored. It's only $15 a kilogram if you buy it in Tincura. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, I've explained why you buy that much. Kilograms are $27. I heard, I think it was Sunlu a few months ago, accidentally priced their one of their resins at like $10 a kilogram, and people bought a lot. What about 100 kilograms? Yeah, exactly, yeah. I could never print that much. Like, that's a lot to print before things start getting all chunky. So your Thousand Sons have more or less sorcerers than they would in 40k. More. Every single squad and dreadnought is a sorcerer in Thousand Sons. Every unit gets the Psyker keyword, and they all have unique powers in 30k. Night Trap. About 3 weeks ago, and I'm not on my 6th bottle. Yeah, you're moving quick through it. But I mean, you're selling stuff, right? So you're selling prints. You got to be ready to print a bunch of stuff. Yeah. It's good. Happy business expenses, right? Yeah, we're gonna get out the clippers and plastic glue here in a little bit. It's gonna be Votann time. We're gonna put some Votann together. Dark Eldar guy, have Incubi always been paid very well for their services? And pay them more not to defend. What? I mean, I assume that's how it works. Yeah. I always thought of Incubi as like a little more honorable than normal Dark Eldar, like they're aspect warriors, right? And they devote themselves to like that whole thing, and so they work as bodyguards to kind of pay the bills. But in general, they're very much like it's like an act of worship for them. However, they are still Dark Eldar. And I feel like they could entirely come up with justification of like, well, you didn't pay us enough, so we're going to let you die. Or, you know, maybe they'll let them die and not kill them outright, because then it kind of ruins their reputation a bit if they kill a dude outright that they're supposed to be protecting. So every unit 40k has a head sorcerer. The Rubric K called, yeah, all the characters have Zangor and so yeah. So 30k has more sorcerers. Yeah, there's a difference between having the psychic keyword and being a psyker. So in 30k, every unit that's not a vehicle, or I guess an automaton, which they have a unique one, but they're all psychers and they all get unique disciplines. So yeah, 30k has more psyker units in the Thousand Suns. And it's also not just the head person that does it anymore. It's not just the sergeant, it's the whole squad. So if your sergeant dies, it wasn't like that in second edition. Second edition was all based on the sergeant, but in third edition it's the squad itself. So you don't need the sergeant to use the powers. Yes, these guys are a commission. I think I've pretty much sworn off of collecting Chaos Space Marine armies, because I have painted a lot of Chaos Space Marine armies. Look good. Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, and we're just on the Noise Marines. Those back, we'll put you up here. Take a little break when these are done. I'll get the other minis and stuff out. Miyazaki, welcome in. Uber K and Nicole can cast spells as Psychers. Can't remember if the Helper. Yeah. No, I don't think the Helper has any spells. The Helper in 40k is kind of weird. Because it's, like, yeah, the dude was a Psyker, but is basically just a crazed maniac at this point that the Thousand Suns entrapped or whatever. So, upcoming Hobbycraft Fair. Oh, cool. All right, get some printing. Almost done. Yep. 10 more of these guys to put some weathering powder on. I'm going to varnish them probably this evening. And then they're ready to mail out. Take some photos. And they're ready to mail out. So, it's good stuff. Oh man, I'm tired though. Had a nice Patreon hangout last night. That was fun. Meeting could have been an email. I feel like that's the story of like an office job. I worked in a warehouse and we would do meetings at the start of every shift and at the end of every shift. And they would start the meetings 15 minutes. So at the start of our shift, we do our beginning meeting, and then at the end of our shift, they'd start at 15 minutes before we would like clock out for the day. And so I think it just like tanked productivity. Not that there was a ton to be productive with at that job. It was super easy, but it was just like, well, if the meeting starts in 15 minutes, I'm not going to start anything new, 15 minutes, I'm not starting a new thing 15 minutes before the meeting. So that I'm done a half an hour early. But like, if I can't start anything new and I get done early, like, too bad. Like, it's just like, was this cascading effect of like just not doing anything. It's an hour to troubleshoot a process. Can I start part? Work smoothly over work says I'll get it started. I'll let you know when I have something. All of that just for guys. What's the next project? We're painting some Leagues of Votann. Some I think they Brokir Thunderkin, I think. The guys in little exoskeletons. And a squad of Steeljacks, which are the new like Space Marine sized robots. That's the next project. You want some of those Steeljacks? Yeah, well, we'll get a good look at them into this week and maybe into next week. The Brokir delete units, yeah. That's why my opponent wants 18 of them. I'm only painting 6, but I've already painted 12 for the gentleman, I believe, so. They are horrible to assemble and paint, though. They are among the worst of the Votann minis to assemble and paint. Aside from maybe the bikes. The Thunderkin minis. Six on your side for a doubles tournament. Nice. Okay. Well, hopefully they do well for you. More pieces than they should, yeah. And it's not even like they have lots of pieces. It's a lot of like there's layers upon layers on those miniatures. So you have like the cloth suits that they wear, and then over the cloth suits sometimes they have armor panels on a lot of this stuff, so armor panels layered on top of that. And then you have, on top of that, you have like the actual like exoskeleton piece. Yes, yeah, the Thunderkin are the ones with little baby carrier chassis, yeah. So there's like all the like the steel frame and everything that they're sitting in, the metal frame, and then there's all kinds of like wires connecting everything, and yeah, so like assembling them is a pain. Just because it's like all these little parts, yeah, that work in together, and they have really small connection points on some like important pieces. So like their guns are connected to their wrists. Like the hands are on the guns, they're connected at the wrist with just like a tiny little tab, and so it's very common to assemble those and their guns just keep falling down. Like that's a really common thing when I assemble them, at least. You know the 4 keys of success? Oh yeah, I saw a band of goblins. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I'll be heading to the post office on Saturday, I think, and there's some things. I'll have some giveaway miniatures to mail out. I'm a little behind mailing those out, but get those mailed out to people, and yeah, get these minis mailed out to their rightful owner, and hopefully all will be set. I'm hoping to finish all that Votann stuff next week. We'll see. It's just 12 minis. And they're Votann, so hopefully they're not horrible to paint. But we'll see. Alright, last one. And nice dusty Mars Earth bases. Wonder how customizable the Steeljack poses are. Well, we're about to see. So if you guys give me just a couple moments, we'll get out the Steeljacks. We'll assemble the Steeljacks first. How's that sound? We'll wipe up some of this pigment here. Okay. Very good stuff. Well, I'm gonna take a quick break. I'm just gonna mute it real quick, grab everything, and I'll be back. I have to find an instruction manual for Thunderkin. Let's put things up here. I have so many instruction booklets. Okay, I found it. Cool. Look at these. Hold on. You guys ready for this? You guys ready? Wait for it. I got more. There's more. These are all the instruction manuals that I kept. I just put them in a container. Look at my stack of Warhammer instruction manuals. There's more in there, but just in a big box. Okay. Put these down. I assemble a lot of minis. Okay. So the Thunderkin are on loose sprues. We're gonna do these guys last. So we got them. I believe that's 6 of them. Should be all 6 of them. Put them in a binder. I don't need them in a binder though. Like, why would I put them in a binder if I got my nice box that holds all of them? And then we got 2 boxes of these guys. These are the bases for the Thunderkin. And I need to look up. Okay, so the Ironkin Steeljacks are going to have heavy vulcanite disintegrators. And if we go... Let's see if he told me somewhere how he wants his Thunderkin equipped. Let me see. All right. You two have a binder full of instructions? Yeah. Don't. Yep. Leagues of it. Wait a second. I really hope he put everything in this box, because I just opened that box and everything's missing. We're gonna have a problem. One, two, three. Okay, all 6 of them are here. Oh man, ooh, that was a close one. Okay, yay, more of these transfer sheets. Those will be dependent on the weapon. Well, their legs look pretty much set. Like, they got knees and shins attached. So, no changing their leg poses. That is something right off the bat. This guy, I paid a lot of minis for this guy. He sends me the most whack boxes. Like, it's just the most ridiculous packaging that he sends in the mail. Okay, let's see. We got those. We're gonna grab a knife. And let's grab a nice set there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here's a foot, 12 pieces. Yeah, their bodies are like 2 pieces, and then like, yeah, you can. Blue's getting karate chopped by Nightbot over on Twitch. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. That's funny. Okay. So, man, these are really simple. It's crazy that like here's your new minis. Like, these are pretty empty sprues. You guys see like look at this. What is that? Look at all this space. That's so weird for a GW sprue. I can fit my finger through this sprue. That's not okay. That's not GW standards. Weird. I'm assuming these are each like, you just break these up, and each of these is a steel jack. Kind of how it looks. So, all right. And of course, how they want me to assemble it, I go out of order with the numbers. Make sure the right one is broken off. Okay. I bought be better. Really need to start looking at Gunpla sprues. Yeah. Alex Jensen, welcome in. Yeah, I think what we can do, we can pop these off. Goes there. Go there. There, everything's lined up. Okay. We'll just start snipping. 22. Okay, so it's 4 pieces for each one to start, just to get all their bodies together. 22, 23, 35, 36. Pretty simple. Very simple minis, what it looks like. just you. We got the space dwarfs going. Start snipping. Yeah. Ugh. Shudder. See, Space Wars. That's right, John Lockridge. We got Space Dwarf action. Man, I've been really stuffy this morning. Hope I'm not getting something. Maybe it's just the weather. Who knows? Not my squats. Titan feet and legs are a nightmare to put together. I bet. Yeah, I bet. These steel jacks are going to be quick, though. You know, I think, from my experience, there was a period in time, a few years ago, I would say, maybe three or so years ago, where every GW kit was just miserable to assemble and find pieces, and things were scattered all over the place. The past couple years, though, like this kind of system where this is a whole mini right here. This is a somewhat recent thing of GW, and it's been kind of nice. So I think they've gotten a little better. I also have much fewer mistakes on the actual instruction booklets, which is unusual. You know, there was a period in time, you know, when I'm assembling, you know, 600-700 minis a year, and I'm going through these instruction booklets, and every single instruction booklet has some mistake in it. And I was marking them just to like pick out the mistakes. And I haven't found mistakes recently in recent books. Old kits were just pictures, no numbers. Yeah. My favorite GW kit for that like particular thing was the old Space Marine land speeder, the plastic land speeder, where it had 0 instructions. And this is a kit from like 2005. No instructions whatsoever. What you had to do, and you had to figure this out because there were no papers that told you this. What you had to do was you looked at the sprue and you assembled it in order of the numbers. But they just assumed that you knew that, and they never put instruction booklets with the minis. And like that was that. They just said, good luck. Here's your land speeder. And that kit was always so warped and everything. I had 2 of them. And they were the kind of kit you put plastic glue on and you just cover them in rubber bands. And then just hope that the rubber bands hold the top and the bottom of that mini together. The Chaos Terminators. I can't remember the Chaos Terminator kit. You know, tomorrow, as of right now, tomorrow the plan is to stream with Zen. Blade is all messed up. I might grab a new blade real quick. I don't think I'll be. Yeah. I don't think I'll be taking or paint. Have the Votann ready by then to start painting. So maybe I'll either work on some Empire state troops, or we'll find something to paint. The state troops are all up on stands, so Mark II what? Night Trap. What's your question about Mark II? It has numbers except the legs where it's letters. Oh yeah, because they fit each pair of legs went together, right? So they use letters on them. I get that. I've seen that. Okay, we gotta get. I get a new blade. I got this like package of blades. There's 100 blades in this package. 100 lames, apparently. You can read that. First one, what are these? Did you hear the speeder needed some manhandling? Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, okay, sorry. I've been one-upped by Estrello. Estrello is officially more manly than me with his 1,000 or his 500 blades. Who has the 1,000 blades? Oh no, it's not. It's yeah, they're Votan Steeljacks. No Mark IIs. Yeah. Yep. It's just next commission. Here. Oh, butter. Smooth as butter. Okay, so we got those two done. The letter on the sprue where it's printed on the legs of a bunch. Yeah. Some of the Dark Eldar kits are like that too. I think like the Witches and the Hellions were like that. Maybe the Kabalites too, where yeah, they have like a little A through E printed on the part where it glues to the other side, and you match those up. Which is kind of nice once you understand what it is. The Steeljacks turn out? Yeah, me too, honestly. These minis, you guys know I'm not like a huge fan of the Votan or their aesthetic or anything, and I feel like these Steeljacks are the most safe possible kit GW could make, like could add to this collection, right? They're just generic soldiers, but like, yeah, they're robots and they like added lore to them, but they're just standing there with guns or with a melee weapon pistol, and they're a little bigger than a Space Marine is what it's looking like. We'll do a size comparison here between these and the Primaris sometime, but yeah, they're just very safe. Armor types was prominent among my 1,000 Suns. Mark 6, because those were the easiest plastics to get a hold of, and I used to buy them like bulk discount and everything. Because for a while there were people that had they would break down the Age of Darkness box, and they would sell 10 Mark 6 Marines, tactical Marines, for $20, when the standard set is $80 for 20, so it was half price. So yeah, I would buy those and use them. I have a lot of Mark IIs now, though. I have very few Mark III. I only have 5 Mark III Marines. I'm manlier than all of you? What? Blue. Whatever, dude. Man, my hands have been dry. Like, my knuckles are cracking. So, I've had to... Gotta lotion up, boys. It's the only way. Gotta stay hydrated. Price of the Mark II on eBay currently. Yeah, 26 for 10 is not bad. Not bad at all. I have 50 Mark IIs. That's enough for me. Oh yeah, no problem, Dunder. That's all right. Currently, I'm kind of in and out of my 1,000 Suns. Like, obviously, I'm working on a lot of commissions and stuff, and doing different things. But one of my you got to lotion up, boys. Yep, that's right. That's right. Life pro tips from a real dad here. I would want 20 more Mark 6 Marines because I want to make Inductii squad, a big Inductii squad, like purpose built and painted Inductii squad. I want to put them in Mark 6. That's something I want to do. But that's, you know, I have like a list of 50 things I want to do with my Thousand Sons. And it's kind of like I'll get to it when I get to it. Crazy enough, you can patch 40k crawler from aliens. What aliens thing would you kit bash to a crawler? I'm curious. What Inductii colors? So they're still red. A couple noticeable differences. One is I know the official artwork, their helmets are painted black, which is really cool in my opinion. So they stand out that way. And then I have unique shoulder STLs for Inductii for every legion, but I'd use them for my Thousand Sons. And I would also give them the 40k rubric bolters. Oh, a crawler from, okay, the Hecaton Land Fortress. Yeah, that'd be cool. Alright, well, let's get some cement here. But yeah, the Inductii seem cool, and I have like an idea for them. It's just, you know, there's 100 other things to do at this point. I also want to want a couple Predator tanks. Yeah, these minis are crazy simple to put together. This is like no-brainer stuff, but they're just kind of standing still. That's all. What if we made a B-17 into a tank? Yeah. Oh man, we got our plan set going to the U.S. Air Force Museum for my son's birthday. It's so funny. So the current plan is to go with my older brother and my niece and, like, you know, his kids. Did I cut my finger there? What in the world? Or is that, no? That's just that's my dry skin, and then that's pigment. That's freaking Mars dust pigment. So anyway, back in the actual conversation here. I texted my brother. I was like, hey, you know, you want to join us going to the Air Force Museum, and which is it's the coolest museum. But anyway, I knew he'd be all on board if he had like the day off work and everything. So he said yeah, and he said, well, he's like, would you rather we took your son to like a trampoline park or something? You know, like something else. Is there something else he'd want to do? And I'm like, man, a kid wanting to do a trampoline park, like that sounds like something a normal 9-year-old would want to do, right? So I asked my son. I was like, hey, painting son. Yeah, I didn't want them to do that because it seems like a lot of money, and it's a whole thing. But it's like, hey, painting son, would you rather go to a trampoline park or would you rather go to the Air Force Museum? And he's like, Air Force Museum, duh. And I was like, okay, geez, kid, all right, this is my son. He'd rather go look at airplanes than go to a trampoline park. So that's the plan. You would have wanted to go to a museum at 9. Okay, sweet. We got, well, we got the nerds in this kind of chat here, so we're probably not like the normal people. I'm going to give him one of his birthday gifts. I guess he'll get it. Birthday and Christmas. So we have that tank book, and there's an airplane book that he has, like a fact book from like the Smithsonian Institute. And I'm going to give him that, the airplane book, so he can read the airplane book on the way. Legacy. Full of armor. Always have. Yeah. We have a museum here that has like tanks and stuff, and a lot of crazy stuff. But it's also like a private museum. And it's just some guy that was like a military photographer and decided to just like collect things and open a museum. So he has this like pretty crazy museum. He has like aircraft at the museum that somehow he bought like decommissioned like military aircraft and helicopters, and he has artillery from it was Iraqi artillery from Desert Storm that like the US just took, and then somehow he has in his museum. Like big like D-22 122 millimeter artillery pieces or whatever, and yeah, like marine amphibious landers. It's crazy stuff. I don't know where this guy gets either this. The government just donating to him, like, here. He's collecting 40K at 1-to-1 scale. Yeah, he is. It's actually one of the few places in the country that has a Higgins boat on display, which is pretty cool. You can just like go check out a real Higgins boat, which are like the little landing craft the Allies used in World War II. Okay. Halfway done? Most of the way done? I don't know. Let's see. We want them. And this is one big unit of 6. Just something to keep in mind. So, okay, they all have the Vulcanite disintegrators and plasma knives. So let's see, do they come with plasma knives equipped? They do have a little pouch with plasma knives. And then this guy, he just has a crest. That's his only difference. So we're not giving him... They have options here for like a pistol and a sword. But we're not doing that because he's just a disintegrator guy. He's going to be pink here, this guy. So he's going to have the crest with the thing. But also, that's his knife, right? Is that the knife? Or is that a sword? Man, if these things didn't have their hands attached, I would swap this pistol out for this big disintegrator and keep him with his knife out. Yeah, that seems like a bit too much. Yeah, I think the plasma knives are just these little ones. That's a big sword. That's pretty cool, though. Night Trap. Yeah, Nemesis bolt rifles are great. Yeah, they're excellent. Okay, pink dude. This guy will be our commander. But we're going to start clipping pieces. We got 24, 25, 26. And then we'll do piece number 40, and we need piece number 60, which is not on this sprue. Very interesting. It's over here. Okay. And I think that's it. Let's do, I guess we'll do the rest of them too, right? So they each have just one big shoulder. That's all they do. A second. They do. So I guess if they have ranged weapons, they get one big Tau shoulder. If they have melee weapons, they get two regular shoulders. Well, we'll beef this guy out. We'll give him the big shoulder, and then we'll give him a little shoulder, just to make it a little different since he's a commander. And we'll go a little further with him. What shoulder goes where here? Let's see. Really focus on recon and range work in 30. Yeah, definitely. 34. Okay. And then 21, right? Yep. 21. I think that's it for Sergeant's pieces. Okay. And then just this normie here, 24, 25, 26, and then some of the other parts. I have a Panzer Museum in Denmark. Keep every model running of Danish armor since World War II. That's really cool. Yeah. We don't have a good tank museum close, but you know, and this makes me wonder. I wonder if I can swap arms on these guys. I bet I can, and yeah, I think you can. So let's do this. We're gonna cheese it a little bit. We're gonna put you there. You're gonna be on that guy. Okay, but we'll keep. Let's do you and you. We'll keep that with the heads, and then we need his knife. Make an Alpha Legion. Yeah, that'd be really cool. No, like recon works. Recon's a thing. Yeah, the only thing that makes recon a little more difficult is for 3rd edition is finding like the correct amount of detachments. So I think a recon demi company, I think is what it's called, is maybe a little less easy to field than some of the more spammable things because they're not troops. Let's see, we're 4, 5, and 6. Okay. You know, let's do this. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at this point. I think there's a. I think if you take a. Is it a Pathfinder maybe? Console, you get a unique detachment. You take a lot more recons, and maybe Alpha Legion themselves can take more recon units as well. All right, we need 44, 45, 46. Same thing, man. It's incredibly simple. Oh, we'll have to get this other one too. Another one will go on that guy. It's plasma knife. No official tank museum in the U.S. That's fair. I've been to the U.S. Army Infantry Museum at Fort Benning. That's somewhere I went. My brother graduated from basic training there. We all visited the museum. That was a pretty cool museum. It's not Air Force Museum, you know, but it's cool. Okay, so I can tell you right now, the Steeljax kit is incredibly simple. I mean, we're already done with the sprues. We just need to clean up and then put our pieces on here. So start with a cleanup. See him in Kansas City. The real FT tank from that war. World War II Museum in New Orleans has tons of tanks from that era. That's cool. Okay, yeah. Yeah, nothing comes close to the Air Force Museum. That's right. It's because the Air Force has just money to throw around at things, so they just make a crazy museum. So we did get to add a little variation in these. We mixed up the arms. That's the way to go. Miniature Graveyard, welcome in. No problem. You lurk away, sir. Chat with people on YouTube and Twitch. The game release today, I've been watching someone play it. Anno. So Anno 117 Pax Romana. Looks a lot of fun. Obviously, it's a bucket list. Yeah. If I'm ever able to visit Europe, yeah, or like the UK, yeah, Bovington's a place for me too. I'd love to go there. Yeah, Anno 117 looks like a lot of fun. Stopping in for a few minutes. Oh, welcome in, Velios. How you doing? And busy, dude. Just chilling, putting some Leagues of Votann together. Some Steeljacks. You want to get Tabletop Game Shop? Yeah. The retail simulator. Crazy. Crazy that's a thing. Still alive? That's nice. Yeah, I get it. I get it. No, nothing fun recently. Being real busy. That's the fun I've had. Finished all those Emperor's Children, though. Just gotta varnish them, photos, and send them out. So, you want to stock some shelves and handle some cash? Yeah. Or when you just dream of working in retail. Okay. Get a nice amount of glue on either side here. I don't think there's any kind of like locked position on here, which is unfortunate. We'll just try to work quick. This a little bit. Just a little. Right. That is a more steady hold than the Brokir Thunderkin, so I'm cool with that. Mop the floor, pick up random soup can. Yeah. I don't get it. I don't get it. Scratch the card pack opening itch so I don't have to spend more on cards. Okay. So it gets you there. That's fair. You just use it to open card packs. Does anyone else here play Star Realms on mobile? If you do, I've been playing Raja a lot in mobile, and he has been kicking my butt in that game. So if someone else, if someone else plays that, I would be happy to get games. I was been enjoying it a lot, even though he's been destroying me in that game. Let's try this again. Crown Prince Krishna's first trip in a twin-seater F-16 lately. His father Frederick did. Okay. Let's do this, yeah. F-16s are super cool. Different. Let me see something. No, that doesn't work there either. Huh. It just holds it straight down like this, doesn't it? Yeah, okay, okay. There's that guy. Let's keep going. That number 3 position there, so let's... Yeah, I did make these relatively modular. That looks good. Two more for the arms, and then we'll move on to straight up aiming, it looks like. Cool. Easy minis. Yeah, it's cool, Alex. Good guy, Denmark. Yeah, this like running guy aiming will look really cool. If we compose this right. Go. Let's pick that up just a little bit. Just like that. That's a good pose. I like this. It's my favorite pose here. Okay. Check all these out real quick. That guy's popping out a little bit. So they got a little bit of the Thunderkin issue. You're secure in there. Doing good there. Sliding off. Yes, T-Slayer, these are Leagues of Votann. These are Steeljacks. Okay, we're going to keep an eye on those. But in the meantime, we're going to put some other items on them here. So let's start with these knives so we don't keep covering up the easy places to put them. Okay. Open you, alright. They have different belt structures. They do. Okay, so we will trade off some of these. You go there, you go there, you go there. Okay, cool. Cool. That'll work just fine. This will sit. Right there on the back. Okay, we have knife number 19 right here. Easy switch. I'm glad I caught that. It's not popping off there. It's still coming off. And these guys, knife will just go right on. Okay. Back belt right there. Honestly don't know how it's supposed to sit on there. This doesn't have any kind of groove or indent. Oh no. One of these. That it's funny, they give you all these nice grooves for everything to fit in nice and perfect except for this one knife. And they're like, yes, it's a vital part of the miniature. And they don't give you a way to fit it. Okay, cool. We got the knives on. Let's trim some shoulder pads. How about that? We just have 2 or 3 more pieces each. Hey, Camila Colombo, welcome in. Just and the rest of these pieces going on these minis. almost done trimming up pieces. Then we'll just finish these minis up. Real simple. And I guess we'll get the Thunderkin out. And we'll probably have them assembled by the end of the night. Make sure it's happening. We'll prime them this weekend and we'll just paint them next week if that's cool with you guys. We'll just do all 12 minis at the same time. Okay, let's start with their heads. They're tiny, tiny little robot heads. It's incredible. Okay, get the shoulders here in a second. They have a tiny little pip there. It's right in there, and then this guy in particular has spare shoulder pad piece, goes up like right there. So there, we're giving him a little bit extra. That's what we're doing. Just to help him stand out from the crowd a little bit. Easy minis to assemble though. Very easy to assemble. Figure out how hard they are to paint here in a minute. Just have one more piece after this shoulder. Not terribly undynamic either. Like this guy's got some movement to him, right? Like this mini. I like this mini. That's the one I like. Okay, and the last piece here goes right there. Yep, the little spot. Assemble. Yeah. Very simple miniatures. Okay, well, we got the unit leader, we got the other 5, and we'll go ahead and set these guys off to the side a bit to make sure His arms staying up okay. Yeah, I think those arms are staying put. Oh, as I drop him real quick, let's just make sure he's good. Yeah, you're good. Good. Your arms staying put. Yep. Good. Not too big either. Like I said, they're just here. I've had this Rubric Marine here for a while. They're just a head taller than a Rubric Marine, not counting his crest, right? Rubric Marines are a little smaller than Primaris. So, yeah. Yeah, the crests are always like a little precarious, right? Cool. Alright, Avelios, thank you, man. You have a good day. We have all these wonderful extra bits all over the place. You got a lot of weapon options. Definitely much more like a melee squad, right? Put you there. There. Come back over here. I'll set these sprues out. Put these down with the clippers ready. Are you gonna base these? So I am not basing these ones in particular. The client actually requested that they base their own miniatures, so I was like, cool. So I'm gonna send them without any basing on them, and they're gonna finish that process. Alright, guys, I will be back in just a minute, and yeah, we'll start assembling the Sunderkin when I come back. Alright, I am back. I have to inform you guys of some sad news that happened the other day. My apron that I have worn for years at this point, my $10 apron, broke. So I'm quite sad about my broken apron. Okay. So I guess I have to get a Painting Dad themed apron now, right? A branded apron. Just in the cards no matter what. Okay. We're gonna do something similar with these guys. To fourth wall I go. I think we can divide them. They look like they're once again divided by person here. All of these sprues. Okay. Let's take a look here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think we do that. Yeah. So the one thing I won't be able to do unless I hear back soon from the client, I'm not sure what weapons he wants. They have 3 different weapon options. I'm not sure the exact weapons he wants on everybody. So hopefully he gets back to me. If he gets back to me in a little bit, that'd be really cool. But we might not even get far enough to get the weapons on him anyway. So 1, 2, 5, there's 4, and there's 3. I don't know if Zen is lurking. I feel like I should tell you that the print I was printing you failed. So, what's up, Misfit? How you doing? 21, 425. Okay. So, I don't know. It failed in a really weird way. The boys painting, welcome in. How you doing? Thank you for the follow. So I'm reattempting it. I don't know if there was like a power surge or something, but I don't know if that was it either. Like when I went to check on him, the print bed was all the way down, and it looked like it had maybe been like that for a while. Like it never popped back up. So hopefully that's a one-off issue. Yeah, actually, I had to restart the printer for the print bed to actually go up. But I had to manually pull it up or whatever. But it wouldn't move up even when I was pushing a little button until I turned it off and turned it back on. So I don't know. Maybe my printer is kind of on its last legs. Boys Painting, how you doing today? Welcome in. We're assembling some Votann minis. That's what we're doing. We got some broke here Thunderkin, I believe is what they're called. Doing good. Good to hear. Yes, these are the same same color scheme and everything that I've done before. Same customer. You did? What'd you do, Zen? Why are you making people mad? Asked for pricing? Why? Yeah, why would that be an issue? It's a strange thing to take issue with. Asking for pricing in a buy-sell trade sounds reasonable, yeah. Painting the new Terminator. Oh, cool! The new Ancient, right? Is that what it's called? That's really cool. Nice. How are you liking those minis? Are they've been good to you? Did you get the you got the set? I assume. That's very cool. And what chapter colors are you painting? So far, yes. Okay, good. Good. Oh, doing Ultramarines? Nice. Very nice. Did you get any of the new, the like Victrix Guard or new Calgar or anything? Sicarius? The new Victrix Guard looks so good. Yeah. Very nice. Man, if you have some pictures to share of your minis, by all means. If you have an Instagram and you put pictures of them, that'd be great. But also, if you want to come join the Discord and show us, I'd love it. You have Calgar done? Dang. Yeah, I'd love to see your Ultramarines. We have a good community in Discord too, so it's, you know, I just love seeing people's painted minis, and people are really good. Really good about posting stuff and stay on top of it. Alright, what is this? I'm selling Warhammer Magic decks. DM me. DM asking how much for each. He tells me the total price. As for individual price, he gives me deck price. Look up, he's selling market value. I ask if they're opened or have their extras included. He says they're sealed, which is different terminology. Does that mean they're unopened or what? Thanks for your time, but I'm uninterested. He hits me with an LOL. Sure. Okay. Dang. Salty little Magic player, huh? This goes to you. And when do people get so rude on these buy-sell trade groups? That also sounds sketchy. Like if he's, yeah, I don't know. There is specific terminology. Maybe he's just he doesn't play Magic and he plays Warhammer and he doesn't understand the difference. Oh, okay, okay. But you can still buy the sets? Is that what you're saying? Oh, we got them in whips? Okay. Hold on 1 second, I'll go take a look. Okay, okay. They have been for 2 years. Oh, okay. Alright, got those first couple pieces. Let's check out... Oh yeah, look at Calgar the Ancient. Oh, I love it. Nice. Great color, great like shade of blue too. Like the highlights and stuff, like in the lighting, I love it. I love the like deep shadows on the minis. Looks really good. Yeah. Nice work. Very nice work. Unlock Ridge. Steeljacks can be pretty good melee blenders if you equip them that way. Concussion Gauntlets are strength 10. Last swords get 6 attacks. Dang, okay. Yeah, they seem pretty solid. The damage 1 kind of stinks on those. Necrons have a lot of like strength 6, AP 2, damage 1 things, and they always seem really lackluster. But that's cool. All right, for those who actually play 40k, are the new Victrix Guard like busted? Are they just like broken? Head out for a walk, in case you're off and get back. Okay, sure. See you tomorrow, Estrella. Have a good one. If I don't see you after your walk. Like strength 10, especially a robot hitting you would do more than 1 damage. Yeah. I don't know the right. I think the concussion gauntlets are probably more than damage 1, I would assume, but yeah, either way, a robot punching you with a sword seems like it would do more than 1 damage. Gauntlets are 2 damage. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. They're power fists, right? But the swords, like that's a profile I feel like a lot of Xenos have on their weapons, and it never seems like a great one. It seems like it'd be good. Strength 6, AP 2, but the 1 damage and AP 2 is like okay. Painting for slow grow. Oh, cool. Okay. Yeah, those Victrix Guard minis are pretty tempting. Like I've been out of 40k for the past year or so, but those minis just look great. Oh, 30 plus. Nice. What kind of units you got in the army? I have a good 3,500, 4,000 points of Ultramarines. That's all like newer stuff. I started collecting them during 9th edition. I had a Space Marine army way back in the day. I started in like 4th edition. But I sold them years ago. When I was kind of like, I'm getting out of all these games. I don't need my armies and I want money for computer parts or whatever. And so I kind of did that, but okay, I remember. Oh, these are really annoying. You put these together around its waist. It also fits in there like so. But yeah, you glue a lot of different things together here. Let's make sure we're doing this properly. You there, you there. To glue you. Then they all go right there. Okay. Got about the same. Nice. Nice. Yep. I collected Ultramarines for the very specific reason that the color scheme looks good. And they have lots of transfers. And I can use any of the miniatures, any of the basic miniatures, and it's still, on theme, on brand, and everything. You don't have people being like, why are your Blood Angels using Tactical Marines? Blood Angels never use Tactical Marines, or things like that, so. Just avoid that discussion altogether. Darn it. Ugh. Each chapter have rules in 40k, or just generic Space Marines? There's both. Some chapters have their own rules, some are just in the generic book. Like Blood Angels, Black Templars, Dark Angels, Space Wolves. They have their own like codex supplement. But then like if you want to play Salamanders or one of those like White Scars, Iron Hands, Imperial Fist, use just the basic book. Homebrew chapters you can use, whatever book you want, right? As long as you're, you'd be like, this is my Blood Angel's successor, and you use Blood Angel's rules with them. What's the new character release? They'll have 22 data sheets. So they'll have more data sheets than like Dark Eldar, right? Is that correct? That sounds correct. I don't know. Dark Eldar they just shuffled some data sheets and split some, so maybe they have more. But Okay, we got that. Let's trim this little roller coaster bar here. Yeah, I don't know if you guys noticed, the Monday they announced new Necromunda minis. Okay, Drukhari 25, cool. You know, and their line's been around for, you know, I guess their update came around in 2010, so 15 years. But on Monday, Necromunda got miniatures announced, new miniatures, as like part of the Monday, you know, new mini Monday or whatever they're doing. They're called the Hangers On, but what they are, it's like 3 or 4 minis that were resin minis that they're moving into plastic, and they're like little, just like extra characters. Some of those minis are not very old, like maybe a year or 2 old from like their resin counterparts, and they're already moving them to plastic. And I think we were talking about this at one point. I don't know if it was on stream or something, but that to me is showing that Games Workshop is done making resin minis. They're done. The final resin minis to be released from GW will be whatever is already announced. So maybe Angron Transfigured, but I heard there's some issues with his mini, and Latara Seren. But I think we're officially at the point where there's no more of just resin minis, period. Which, you know, yeah, thank God. Yeah, definitely, like, about time. There's some good looking resin minis though, but yeah, it just makes things kind of convoluted, right? But this whole process started like 15 years ago. There was this whole thing about how like GW's done making, you know, they're done making metal minis, they're going to move everything to plastic. And people were like, okay, cool, when's that going to happen? Well, you know, first they moved everything to Finecast because tin prices were going up or whatever. And Finecast was a nightmare. But then, like, yeah, it's just been years and years and years, and I think that this is the point. I'm going to be very surprised if there are new resin minis, but pay attention to it. Pay attention to see if there's any resin minis coming. As far as I'm aware, with the current slate of miniatures that are announced but haven't been released, because I keep track of this thing, there are no resin minis on the docket as far as like have, except for Angron and Latara Seren or Horus Heresy. Those are the only two. But otherwise, there are no resin minis. But those were announced back in like February or something. So there is kind of like one sad thing about that though. 20 years ago, production lines of resin running models that material. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they produce them a lot slower, right? I think the one big downside to not doing resin minis, especially for those of us that play specialist games, you're like 40K, they haven't had resin minis and released in a very long time, or like Age of Sigmar is the same way. But when Heresy 2.0 came out, and that was like what, 2021 when that came out, 2022, something like that. Yes, 2022 when that came out. So that released, and what happened was every single week for 6-7 months, Games Workshop was announcing new miniatures coming out for Heresy. And a lot of the times it was like a resin upgrade kit, or like a new console or Praetor, or something along those lines. But there was something coming out every week. There's a lot of cool like one-off minis and everything. And there's like that's something that's just not going to happen anymore. Like, we're on the plastic release schedule, and I feel like releases are going to be slower for more games in general. I hope it speeds up. Heresy releases for 3.0 have been really slow so far. So, all right, 6, 7, and 12. That's what we're looking for. 6, 7, 12. Okay, we'll do 6. We'll do 7. And we got 12. Yeah, it's crazy to finally be like at that point. It's like we're done. Like, Forge World is you know, on its last legs. There's no more new minis that'll be coming to Forge World. You know, as even though it's been dead for a couple years at this point, but still a crazy thought. 26, 27, 32. It will be. Do you see them ever making... No, I don't think they will. I don't think they'll ever make an announcement about it. Maybe, I mean... Maybe when they're taking, like, the last resin product off the market. You know? Like, that'll be an announcement. Like, look at the, you know, glory days of where we started, and now we have advanced plastic production or something. Maybe. Darn it. I dropped the piece. Okay. All right. 43, 44.
I believe every day's a good day when you paint. I believe it'll bring a lot of good thoughts to your heart.
Hey, the boys painting. Thank you for the raid, dude. I didn't know you were streaming while you're hanging out. What's going on? What's going on, everybody? Thanks for jumping in. Can we get a shout out? The boys painting. 336. This was you working on your Herald, right? Or your Ancient. Legion Ancient, not Herald. Nice. Welcome in, everybody. Painting, Dad. I'm just chilling. That's what I do. I chill and paint. Pretty simple. We use this as a relaxing and productive time. Spent about 5 hours painting. That sounds like fun. Yeah. Very nice. don't think I'll be starting to paint these minis tomorrow. I don't think that's going to happen, but next week I'll start on these Votan minis, so I'll figure out what I'm doing tomorrow. We'll have some fun. I'm thinking of painting my Empire Halberdiers that I have waiting on me. I got 24 of them to paint that are just kind of hanging out, and that might be something fun and different to paint. That might be it. We'll see. Man, Zen, I didn't even think that my printer could be like have like some major issue. I was just like, oh yeah, it failed. Not until I mentioned it to you. There's nothing crazy wrong with it. Yeah, same. I'm just thinking like it could be like the like bolt that it uses to move up and down might just need like lubricated or something. Maybe it got stuck. But I don't know, that doesn't sound... Yeah, the Z screw, that's what it is, yeah. I don't know though, we'll see. I'll go check it after stream and see if it's actually picking up. It should be already past the point where it got last time, so... Or maybe just too much like suction from the print itself. Okay, all of those pieces are trimmed up, and these attach in a specific manner. Okay, start with these bottom pieces and we'll get the other ones. Just keep dropping the minis here. sitting weird. Why is this being a problem? Go ahead and stop being a problem and just stick where you're supposed to stick. Right, now these other little parts, and they just fit a little spot right there. Simple. So I keep my parts organized. It should be a pretty easy process. Something that usually bothers me about, I guess, Imperial 40K design, but maybe it's more Space Marine, and then also these Leagues of Votann, is all the exposed wires, just like cabling everywhere. Like, close it up on something, you know, like did you imagine just getting caught, or just like trying to run, and like the cable on your boot or whatever just gets caught on something, you trip, like you die because that whole thing. I don't know. What's up, Helchorn? How you doing? I don't like that. I don't like how on like Space Marines, on the power armor, there's always like little bits of like exposed cabling coming out in random spots. Not a big fan of that. Fine, I like the Marine models, but there's so many Space Marine models and factions. Yeah, definitely, yeah. I mean, I like Space Marines. Space Marines are, you know, my favorite factions in the setting, but I play Horus Heresy, which is a very Space Marine-centric game. I was kicking my butt. I'm losing weight and earning money? Okay. That's in the hospital at the moment. Oh no. Well, hopefully he's getting the care that he needs. And you guys can, yeah. Tell the pneumonia to be gone. That sucks. Sorry to hear that. Glad you got a new job though. It's good. Okay. 9 on this side. On that side. Welcome back, Estrella. 25-minute, 1.6 mile walk. Very nice. Debating Orcs of Votann next edition. Yeah. Alright. What's pulling you one way or the other? What do you like about both, Lord? He has no fever, pain, or cough. Blood oxygen just way too low. Okay. Yeah, that's strange. Side. Doing for a potential apartment. Okay, yeah. Just non-stop things going on, right? That's crazy. Well, hopefully you're liking the job, and your dad gets better soon, and everything's okay, and hope you like the apartment, and it's not too expensive. Have cool models. Done Space Marines for so long. Don't want to feel like I'm playing a Space Marine faction. From someone who has painted a lot of Votann, it feels like painting Space Marines, but in my opinion, it's worse than painting Space Marines. So I don't know. Maybe there's enough differences there for you. $45 and $46. All right, one more guy here. Next model is going to be Nagash. Oh, cool. Okay. That's really neat. For the store window. Nice. Because my steps are long, it thinks it's 1.1 mile. Oh, weird. Huh. You have like a, was it like a step meter or whatever that's tracking your steps? Yeah, yep. 30 or so inches? Okay. Did you correct your app? Still go in there and fix it. We were able to tell people in the 1980s that we'd be using global positioning tracker exercises if they'd believe us. Yeah, I don't know. There is a lot of things you could probably tell people in the 80s. They would absolutely not believe you. That one seems pretty tame. So able to lose 3 pounds a week consistently when I was losing weight. Yeah, just walking a bunch. Good, man. Yeah, but GPS was like a military technology, right? So, like, we know the positions of our tanks, and you're like, I use it to walk. Like, that sounds, it does sound a bit extreme. Okay. Work according to Lose It. I was walking 3 to 7 miles a day. Oh, so you're walking further than that because of yeah. So the app's like, you should be losing, you know, like 1 pound a week, and you're like, I'm dropping 3 pounds. They're like, you have a horrible disease. Please go to your doctor. You know, that makes you think of, Estrella? It makes you think of, like, The Simpsons. Whenever someone's, like, strutting in that show, they, like, lean back and they're, like, taking, like, really big steps and everything. That's Estrella. Like, his normal walk. He's just strutting, Simpsons style. Yeah. What's up with the... Too many calories I burn? Recognize. Yeah. I do think when I'm done with these pieces, I think I'm gonna call the stream for today. I don't have the weapons. I'm not sure what weapons I'm putting on these minis yet. So we gotta do that. And then with these minis in particular, with how many small pieces there are drawing at once, it gets more and more difficult to glue things together without messing something up. So in here for some reason the other thing doesn't want to go on properly. All right, we'll figure it out. You know, worst case scenario, tomorrow morning, first thing we do, we finish putting these minis together, and then we jump into the next thing, and that's no problem. There's your increased heart rate. Yeah. Yes, Jaded Valkyrie. These are Votan. Yep, these are the Brokir Thunderkin we're assembling. I put together some Steel Jacks earlier. They were very simple minis to put together. Very nice to put together. These minis are quite the opposite, though. And we'll be painting them next week. I'm gonna try to paint everything next week. I think we can manage it. We'll see. We'll try. Getting all these done next week would be really nice, though. Kind of steampunky? Yeah, a little steampunky. Alright. We got those. Now, the Ironkin. These are the Steel Jacks. These are the Steel Jacks, so there's one of them right here. They're not too big. They're little dudes. But yeah, we got the unit leader here with his little crest thing and his knife. So those will be fun to paint. But we'll paint them. We'll paint the Thunderkin. We'll do all that next week. But tomorrow, I'll be on, and I will be maybe finishing the assembly on these minis. But once that's done, I think we're gonna paint some Empire halberdiers here. So we got these guys. So we're gonna paint these, and I have 24 of these guys left to paint. I painted a test mini. You guys want to see the test mini? You want to get an idea what I'm doing here. This is basically what I'm working toward with my Empire models. What I have, and it's kind of like a test thing. Like, I'm printing out this unit. I have this unit that I'll be painting and just testing some things out to see if I like it. And if I want to continue, I'll continue. If not, then I'll be done and have a cool little regiment of halberdiers. So that's it. Yeah, the grass is just simple static grass. That's all. But yeah, those are those minis. So we'll get to those at some point tomorrow, even if it's not right away. But that's the plan. Otherwise, it's these Votan minis. Is that just not, you can put it on PVA glue? I use the I just use that fast drying Geek Gaming Xenix glue, their basing glue. I kind of use it for all my basing. It's good. It stays tacky, things stick in it, and then I can seal it later, and it works, dries clear, all that. So it's nice stuff. But PVA glue I think would work fine for static grass. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, you all have a great afternoon, great evening. Should be around 11 a.m. tomorrow, and Zendral might be hanging out with me in stream. That's the plan, at least. So he'll be chilling. We'll have a good time. But you guys have a great evening, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye, everybody.